All right. Let's see. So I am live and I'm on. Okay, great. Hello, everybody. Kendall here of Cartoon Daily One. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I am in a different location tonight for a number of reasons. I am here tonight reporting to you live from my father-in-law's church. And so I'm here in a classroom here in Dallas at my father-in-law's church. And just to give you an idea, I'm over here in the southern Dallas side here in Dallas, and I'm here. And I thought, I wanted to do a live drawing session and host a live drawing session for you guys. So here I am doing this live drawing session because one, I wanted to make it an opportunity to kind of share something free of charge and live here on YouTube and provide some content for you all. First, I want to tell you first, thank you so much for those of you who've been supporting me and who are on here and who are always checking out my work whenever I post things. I've been trying to post drawings ever so often. And of course, I know that I need to be more consistent. So I'm working on trying to be more consistent. There's a lot going on in my life and in my family's life, but I love doing art. I love creating content like this. I love being able to draw and create cartoons and comics. And that's always been a thing for me, along with writing and doing other really cool stuff like that. So thank you again so much for supporting me. Have never been this consistent when it comes to YouTube. And so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to, just this year, really punch it and try to do my best. And I feel like there's more opportunity for growth. So let me stop talking and let me actually get into the awesomeness that you've all been waiting for. And that's, sitting down and doing some drawing and doing some cartooning. So let me stop talking and jump right in. Let's see. So I'm gonna do my best here to try to give you all the best view possible here. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish such a feat. So here we go. Right now, as I do the drawing thing, I know everything is probably completely upside down for you all. So let's see what we can put together, even though y'all might see everything upside down. So tonight's drawing session, I thought I would do something as it relates to comics and kind of show you all the process of what I go through when it comes to creating comics. Again, thank you again for joining me. Please like and subscribe as well. So usually when I do comics, I'm just gonna keep it real simple, even though I have this mechanical pencil and I usually use like some of my favorite pens and pencils, which I have here. In fact, I have them here, and I'll talk you through some of my tools of the trade that I use. So usually when I'm creating a comic strip, I've always been a fan of like doing the 3-panel thing. And the best part is that I don't have to make a perfect square. I like to create, just kind of squares that I've drawn personally. To me, it makes the comic feel more personable. It makes the comic feel more of a kind of human touch to it. Not everything is digital. Not everything is completely digitized and drawn with a perfect line. And so usually when I create a comic and I put, like before I even digitize it, I like to kind of do this kind of layout, 3-panel layout, where the last panel is going to be the gag or the like the punchline to the joke or whatever, or the punchline to the idea that I'm putting together. So let's just say, as I'm creating a comic, I'm going to start with, for example, I have my comic strip. It's called By and By. So we'll just put the title of the strip there, and I like to kind of put the title of the strip in a square box by itself above the thing. And so now what I'll start with is with my character Walter, and maybe Walter and his friend Dylan are talking. So I'm gonna draw Walter. It's so funny. I can draw my character Walter so well, pointed the other direction, but it is incredibly difficult to me to draw him this direction. And oh, by the way, y'all, I'm gonna make a point to show y'all the comic, you know, the right side up, because I also know that it's rather difficult to see from this direction. I don't have my computer and my camera and all that here with me set up the way that I want to have it set up. So my apologies if you're seeing it and you're like, what is going on? So this is my character, Walter, here. And of course, I'm just, kind of speed drawing through the process of how I would make it look. In fact, to be honest, y'all, I might even erase this. I don't even know yet. So the whole thing too with like my whole process of creating a comic, I try to make a point to, you know, plan and write the idea first, but right now I'm just kind of putting the comic together in this, in this way, like, kind of a fast way. Like, so, hey, if I'm interested in making a comic like this, that, oh, okay, this is kind of how I'm gonna have it, look, how I want it to kind of have it laid out. And I often am thinking through how I want the comic to be. So let's say that as I'm drawing the character out, and of course, I'm gonna finish, let me finish the way, yeah, okay. When I draw the characters like this, it also allows me to be able to kind of create the characters. I won't have to worry about drawing the entire body sometimes. Okay. Anybody else have that problem with their mechanical pencils? They press too hard and then the lead pops. And by the way, if you have not yet, please like and subscribe. Oh, I just got a comment. It's cool that you're drawing because most people just game, which doesn't take skill. Hey, I sure appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love drawing. Video games they have their place, but I just don't think that we do enough drawing and enough creative art expression enough. And so I love being able to do this kind of thing. And like I've told people before, drawing really has actually helped me mentally, therapeutically, and spiritually, physically, and in every way. Drawing and creating it's mean a lot to me. It means a ton to me. And so thank you so much for commenting. And to all of you, you as well, sir, Airsoft Dude. Anyone watching, feel free to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. So maybe I'll make this a Christmas one. Sometimes, y'all, I don't even like plan my comics too thoroughly. Sometimes I'll create a comic because I'm in a mood or I have a thought. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for your subscribe. I think I'll make this kind of a Christmassy one. Like character Walter asking. Of course, Walter's this kid with the spiky hair. Walter is about, and thank you for sharing my channel. Walter's an 11-boy on the autism spectrum, and he's loosely based on me in my life. And I try to tell stories that adults and kids can relate to. What's your plans for Christmas? And then one of his friends are like, dunno. And then what I think I'll do is a medium shot, it's kind of a close-up. Maybe this probably be more of a close-up early. We're in the last panel. If you ever look at a lot of my other previous comics, The middle panel tends to be the character, like a character that's up close making a point or giving an answer. Well, I will admit I need to draw his hair a little bit differently than I do. Like I need to learn more hairstyles. That would really help with my learn to do other hairstyles besides this hair and this hair. But I guess just over time, my years of studying like Diary of a Wimpy Kid or studying Big Nate, it's one of those things. There's also a neat thing, a thing that I've always found neat that gives my comic a bit of a kick, especially if I'm drawing something, is like doing some light scratches of of pencil lead in the mouth to give it kind of that dark interior of the mouth as the character is talking. And then, kind of making sure that people can see the teeth and the tongue. Okay. Your plans for And so his friend is like, I know what I want for Christmas, though. So there's going to be. I thought about not putting a speech bubble there, but I thought that that would be all right. Otherwise, sometimes I just put like a line, like a stroke of a line to make it look like he's, like the character is, talking, and just at least to indicate in some way that he's actually talking. Going, what's your plan for Christmas? Don't know. I know what I want for Christmas though. And then, of course, my character in the comic, Walter, he's like, he's gonna ask, what's that? Got the side profile there. Sometimes I forget that I need to have a little bit of there you go. Like you see how I'm adding a little bit of the edge to his nose to indicate that it is a nose. There we go. Then I can add a little bit of that same effect like I did with the character here. Add a little bit of pencil lead there to indicate that it's dark inside the mouth. so, so right now I got them going. What's your plan for Christmas? Don't know. I know what I want for Christmas though, and then that's when we'll have the punchline happen here. And sometimes the end box, the last box in the comic is funny. Sometimes it's just cheesy. For me, I feel like most of my punchlines are usually really cheesy, but and then sometimes if I do a really good facial expression, then I can make it, I can make it funny even if what he says isn't sometimes, I guess. And I could give him like that, like a crazy look. kind of an intensity there. One of my favorite things I think about comics is the ability to just do like extreme stuff, right? Like to give characters like an extreme reaction pose, and that's kind of like my favorite thing. You know, extreme action poses, extreme facial expressions, you know, anything that like, you know, to give off like that, like the character's like intensity of it all. So like I know what I want for Christmas though, and then Walter goes, "What's that?" Question mark. And then speech bubble. Now, y'all, as much as I'm doing this at the fastest speed possible, there's so much more to creating a, a comic than in 5 minutes. I'm doing this for a reason, y'all. Everett, I know what I want for Christmas, though. Everything, and of course, you know, I'm gonna add the. So, you know, that's his friend's reaction. What do you want for Christmas? Everything. Like as if you could have everything. And you know what? To distinguish that there's two different characters and they're wearing different things, I figured I'd kind of color in or pencil in a little bit of a shade in this character's shirt. Usually, Walter, my main character, is talking to his friend Dylan. I just randomly created a whole new character tonight here in the strip. So here we go. What's your plan for Christmas? Dunno. I know what I want for Christmas though. What's that? Everything. And so there we go. So y'all, I wanted to create this just real fast, this strip, for a couple of reasons. One, just to kind of show how you can create a comic just off the top of your head. But then there's, those comics that you want to take your time in creating, some of the best ideas are the ones that are, cooking in the crock pot of creative planning and developing and things like that, which there's a time and a place for that. And I do think that that's very important to do. And then, for me, my process is sometimes doing this and just kind of having this exercise, and being online here helps me to really do this exercise and like actually streaming and showing you all my process. And this isn't like not my whole entire process. There's more to it for me, or I'm writing and coming up with like ideas and things like that. For me, as it relates to creating comics, it's not just creating the comic. It's not just the squares and things like that. For me, it's also, creating characters that are going to be relatable. For me, and I told you how, drawing Walter pointed to the right or looking to the right has always been difficult for me, which is really weird. It's like, for me, a thing that I've got to challenge myself in. But when I draw my character Walter pointing this direction, drawing him for me is a cinch. And I love being able to draw Walter this direction. I created Walter back in 2011, and I did it as kind of a means to express myself in the medium that I've always loved, and that's in cartoon form. And I did it because one, I've always loved cartoons. Like, I grew up, watching everything from Sonic the Hedgehog to Pokemon, Inspector Gadget, Digimon, Hey Arnold, that kind of thing. So this is Walter. And Walter is, again, he is autistic. He's 11, and he is a sixth grader in middle school. And his whole thing, he's into a bunch of different stuff. This kid loves coffee. So in the creating of a comic, finding out who your characters are Walter is he's 11 years old. He likes he's a lot like me in the sense of that he likes coffee, reads and watches the news. So he's kind of a politics nerd, and just yeah, and so he's that plus more. He loves video games and also is into cartooning and writing. Also, he is let's see, he is autistic, as I said earlier, which I think is important because the way that he sees the world is unique, and and some of his challenges are with other kids and with fitting in. I had the same problem. I really didn't understand my peers. I really didn't understand why people thought certain things were cool. To me, I thought that was dumb. And in like my earlier comics, I have Walter by himself. That's driving me crazy. Here we go. There we go. I fixed that. Yeah, there we go. There was like a little line in his eye, and I was like, I gotta fix that. It's driving me crazy. And there's some distinct descriptions of Walter where he has a shirt. He's always wearing a shirt where there's like some color at the bottom of his shirt and on his sleeves right around at the ends. So there we go. That's Walter right there. Walter, at the beginning of the strips that I made, he doesn't have too many friends at the beginning, and that's kind of like his origin story. He comes to this middle school, and he's kind of by himself, and he's answering these questions in classes that most of his peers don't really like social studies. Like, he's terrible in math, but he loves social studies and science, and so he's answering all these questions and things like that, and he's answering them, and he's like really good. But the problem is that he doesn't really fit in, and so he's kind of picked on, bullied. Then he meets this kid who's in one of his classes, who actually finds Walter to be, kind of interesting, and definitely worth hanging out with. And this character's name is Dylan Randall. And Dylan's name, or his last name anyway, Randall, I got his name from a street that is called Randall Mill Road in Arlington, Texas. So Dylan's name is basically the name of a street in Arlington. Dylan is the go-to kid for all of the latest news, gossip, information, what's cool, what's not, what's hot, what's not type of situation. And he becomes one of Walter's best friends, because he finds Walter and his take on the world incredibly fascinating, and his thoughts about just school and about the other kids are about the same way. Dylan is kind of an outcast himself, and the only reason that Dylan's an outcast is that he, of course, not only thinks that Walter is a really great person, but in a way like Walter, he doesn't fit in. He tries to fit in amongst the cool kids of the crowd, but he doesn't. He's really not a sports person. He's more of he's he's more of the kind of kid that would be in like a journalism club, or things like that, and which later in some of my strips, I might include Walter in like a writing club where he's, doing like weather news stuff or, writing and things like that. But then you have, his friend Dylan, he's 11 years old, and the stuff that he likes. I'm trying to remember what are some of the stuff that he likes. Um, he is he is someone that is very much into music. In fact, he actually gets. In fact, him and Walter actually are very much into that kind of thing, and so is the other character that I also have in my story as well. So yeah, Dylan is into music. He's into also into writing. So he's always someone keeping up with the news and with information and things like that, but mostly school news. So that kind of thing. And of course, he's, besides being Walter's, let's see, Walter's best friend. He's, Walter up. Dylan is also kind of he's sort of a thrill seeker. He's the kid that kind of gets Walter out of his comfort zone most of the time. So these two have been cool for like the longest time. Then you have another character of mine who is he is not a foreign exchange student, though he does have a very interesting backstory. And this character is a anthropomorphic character. I said I wanted an animal in the story, and his name is Ace. And Ace is a fox who was so the backstory for him is that he years ago was just a regular fox whom a scientist discovers in his like near his facility or near his backyard. And what ends up happening is that he thinks to himself, "Oh, good, I got a fox in my backyard, so I'm gonna see if I could like, test some of my, experiments on them." Well, dumb, because the fox then knocks over some things in the lab and it turns him into a being like this. And so he now, the scientist, basically, and his wife cares for said fox that is Ace. So Ace, the fox, is also one of Walter's buddies. Um, Him and of course Ace and Dylan go way back because again Dylan didn't mind hanging out with different kids, and seeing as how Ace the fox is kind of outcast his own self. He they kind of hang out together as part of this kind of crew. And one of the other thing that also I like about Ace is that he loves food. He loves to eat, and sometimes he finds himself teasing the other humans in his school, and that gets him into trouble sometimes. Whether it's chasing them down the hallway or anything else, and somehow he still gets to stay in the school. It is the weirdest thing. So you got Ace the Fox. Ace the Fox, he's like 12. So there we go. Likes food. So there's all kinds of stuff like this that's like I'm like these characters that I've created just over time for this comic that I've been working on. And that's part of like that comic strip creating process where you're like creating these characters. Now, over time, I said, you know what, I created these characters, but man, there's a lot of guys that are in this story there needs to be a girl in here. And so there is this one girl. And there's actually another girl. There is a girl in the story that Walter really, really likes. But this one girl that I'm about to draw is just a friend. And for real, it is just a friend of Walter's. And so this young lady is named Anita. And Anita is somebody that does not fall away from telling it like it is. Like she truly is the the person with the most sense out of the group, and she is someone that she can hang. She doesn't mind. You know, she doesn't mind. Hanging and goofing, but man, she tells it like it is. And she is somebody that is not afraid. She does not mince words. So, she does not have to be told to be a strong woman. She is that. So she is already that. She is that before anyone told her. And it's really cool though because Anita hangs out with Walter and with Dylan and with Ace for a number of reasons. One, she isn't really into the whole fake girl, fake friend situation, and she isn't interested in the drama. So she hangs out with these guys and enjoys actually hanging out with them. She is also 11, and one of the things that she is into is music as well. She loves to sing. She also is very, in a way, kind of. I don't know if sassy is the word. I want to say very direct, very direct. So that's one thing. She has kind of the like old school, like Afro, look, rather kind of Afrocentric. And I thought it was important to exhibit that in her character for the sake of just giving people a chance to see a young black kid character that kind of has like the genuine look and appearance that would say, oh yeah, no, I relate to that look, or oh, I dress like that every day. Because there's a lot of kids that dress like that as well as adults. So that kind of thing. And some of that I think came from just studying different movies and different styles of different people, and then studying different characters. And then Walter, being who he is, I think one of the things about Anita and Walter, though, their friendship is that there is a sense of like almost like brother and sister in a way. And I think that's why all these characters get along so well. Ace, I feel like, is Walter's wildest side. Dylan, I feel like, is Walter's more reasonable side of his personality. And Anita gets to be the girl of interest who says, well, not even a girl of interest that Walter's interested in dating in the future, but more like the girl of interest who is like, oh, Walter's best friend is somebody. One of Walter's best friends is somebody who's able to give him insight on girls and on female thought and opinion. And I think that that's important in a comic strip like mine. So here you are. This is kind of how I've gone about creating my comic. There's a bunch of other characters that are in my story. There are bullies. There are bad guys. Um, Tell me what's your process? What's your comic about? I would love for you to share. If you have a comic strip or if you have a series that you're working on, I'd love for you to be able to tell me more about it. I would love for you to be able to not only share it and comment it. Feel free to comment here. I would be more than happy to take a look at it and also support your work as well. Oh, by the way, you can also follow me on Instagram at Cartoon Daily One. And so any of your support there also helps on Instagram, but also here, supporting here on my YouTube channel, liking, subscribing, all of that makes a huge, huge difference. And I look forward to do more of these kind of things. Now, if this was really helpful, and if like giving you like a behind the scenes of my work was something that was interesting, feel free to let me know as I try to grow the channel and do my thing here on Cartoon Daily. You all, it has been 35 minutes. And I guess I'm about to wrap it up. Thank y'all so much for being on with me tonight. And I hope you all have a amazing day and week and weekend. And you all, it's getting Christmas. It's Christmas next week. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, stay safe. And I hope that y'all enjoy yourselves and enjoy your family and friends and loved ones. Take care.